Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. Welcome to NIVS Home School. Here I am Kamrun, Assistant Teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School, Day 8. My dear students, today I am going to take an English class for the students of class 6 and our today's topic is Punctuation and Capitalization. And our today's class is related to the assignment number 3. And dear students, all of you can take your English grammar and composition book, that means NCTB book, and you will go to unit 8, that means page number 72. So we will start our class, and all of you take your book, it will be helpful for you. Today we will discuss some rules of the punctuation. And now look, what is written there? There are no hard and fast rules about punctuation, but there are some good style guidelines. So we will know about the guidelines today. And this is a list of 10 most commonly used punctuation marks and a guide to their use. Read the rules carefully. So before doing the assignment, we will read these guidelines carefully and then we will do our assignment. And this is page number 72. Unit number 8, Punctuation and Capitalization. And we all know about the general rules or the common rules of the punctuation and capitalizations. Let's have a look today. At first we will start with comma, and this sign is called comma. We all know it, and there are 6 guidelines for using comma, and what are they? We will know it today. Now look, use commas to separate independent clauses in a sentence. For example, now look, we will use comma to separate independent clauses in a sentence. Okay, let's read this passage. Yesterday I went to the local stadium to watch the football match between Shobuj Shongo and Torun Club. It was an interesting match. The game was over, but the crowd refused to leave. Now look, there are 2 separate independent clause and we separate them by using a comma. This comma is given here. The game was over, but the crowd was refused to leave. The game was over, and now look, but the crowd refused to leave. Now the next example, yesterday was her brother's birthday. So Rooney took his brother out to dinner. Now look, yesterday was her brother's birthday. This is another independent clause and there is another independent clause. Now look, Rooney took his brother out to dinner and we separate them by this comma. And they went to a Thai restaurant and had some Thai soup, momo and chow mein. So there is the example of comma. If you want to separate similar items, you can use comma. Okay, we will know about it in number D. Okay, now number B. Use comma after introductory words such as yes, however, and will, or you can also use comma after no, hi, hello. For example, now look, do you like going to party? John is saying, do you like going to party? Now Pat is saying, well, it depends. Now look, the introductory words will, we separate it with comma. I don't like big gathering, the small ones are okay. Now John is saying again, then are you coming to Samantha's birthday party? Only the close friends are invited. And Pat, now this is the turn of Pat, yes, now look, there after yes we use comma. She phoned me, however I won't stay long. Now look, after however we use comma here. So we can use comma after introductory words like yes, however, will, or no, hi, hello, etc. Okay, and hi John. If you say this between hi and John, you will put a comma. Now look, number C. Use a pair of commas to separate additional information from the main body of the sentence. Now look, this is very important. If you want to add some information from the main body of the sentence, we will put comma, we will separate those information by using commas. Now look, Shakib Al Hasan, renowned cricket player, is from Magura. So now look, this is the sentence. The body of the sentence is Shakib Al Hasan is from Magura. Shakib Al Hasan is from Magura. But we want to add more information about Shakib. Shakib Al Hasan, renowned cricket player. So renowned cricket player is the additional information. So we separate it by using two commas. Now look, there are two commas. So we will use a pair of commas. That means, now look, a pair of commas, 1, 2. There is a pair of commas, and we will add some information about Shakib Al Hasan. And now look, a few days ago I read a wonderful report on him in the Daily Star, the most popular English daily in Bangladesh. Now look, we are adding some extra information about the newspaper Daily Star. That's why we put a comma after Daily Star, and then we add the information, the most popular English daily in Bangladesh. Now look, we don't put here comma because our sentence is complete. That means this is the end of the sentence. That's why we put a full stop or period here. Now we will go to number D. Use serial comma to separate all items in a list. Now look, there's the example. Now Khalid is saying, I love apples, pears and oranges. However, I don't like kiwi, tamarind and sharon. What about you? Now look here, these are the similar items. Apple, pears, and now look, oranges. And now look, this is the introductory word, however, and this then kiwi, tamarind, we also put comma. And now look, in front of and there is a comma. Many people don't like to use comma in front of and, but it is the standard method of standard method of teaching at the Oxford University. So at Oxford University follow this rule, and that's why this comma is called Oxford comma. This comma is called Oxford comma. So we can use comma in front of and, but many people don't like to put comma in front of this and. Okay. Now go to the next example. I like dates, melon and pineapple. Now look, these are the list, and we also put comma here. Mombasa is okay for me too, but I don't like banana at all. And then we will go to number E. Use commas to separate all geographical names, items in dates except the month and day. So except the month and day, we will put comma, and address except the street number and name, and titles in names. Now look, there's the example. My father is from Gauranodi, Borishal. Now look, we separate Gauranodi and Borishal by putting a comma. And then now look, at July 22, 1959 was a momentous day in my father's life. We separate the date, July 22 and 1900, the year 1959 by putting a comma, but we don't put a comma after the month. He was born on that day. He left Gauranodi when he was 25. Now our address is house number 25, road number 2, Thanmoni, Dhaka. Now look, we do not put comma between the street number and the house number. Okay, but we put comma between Thanmoni and Dhaka. So we separate them. But you will also find like this. Now look at number 8. Now our address is house number 25, road 2, Dhanmondi, Dhaka. And this is also correct. You can also put comma between the house number and the road number, but it is old fashioned, and this one is the modern. In modern time we use these rules. We don't use comma between the house number and the road number. Now we will go to period or full stop, and you all know that we use period or full stop to complete a sentence, and when we use a abbreviation we use full stop or period. The primary use of a period is to end a sentence, and its second important use is for abbreviation. Now look, there's the example. Mr. Jones is happy to see his wife. This is a complete sentence. Now we put a full stop there. His wife has been working in Uganda for the last few years. Again there is a full stop because the sentence is complete, the sentence is complete. She is with Jones for a holiday now and will be staying together for 2 months. So we complete our sentence and we put a full stop. Now we will go to abbreviation. If an abbreviation phrase is pronounced, we do not include periods. Now listen, we use abbreviation, we use full stop in abbreviation like BA. If you write BA, we will use full stop. But if you can pronounce the abbreviated phrase, we will not put any full stop. Now look, NASA, NASA is correct, but if you put full stop after N, after A or after S, it will be incorrect because we can pronounce it NASA. And now look, in some cases the periods are omitted when even when the word is not pronounced. Usually it is a very commonly known term. For example, when the term is very common, well recognized, we don't need to use full stop. Now look, though they are not, though you can't pronounce them. UCLA, that means University of California, Los Angeles. And in the case of a word like etc., we always include the period. Now look, after etc., you must put a full stop. So just like these words, we will always put a full stop. Now we will go to question mark, which is very easy. If you ask a question, you will use this punctuation mark, that means the question mark. The question mark is a fairly easy punctuation mark to use. It has only one use, asking question. Okay, if you want to ask a question, you will put a question mark. Now look, Manik is asking a question. Now what time is the English class? And Dhruvo is giving answer at 10:15 after the maths class. And we will not include a period when we are using a question mark, which is very important. Now look, I wonder how many people will come to the party. Now look, at the end there is a question mark, but it is not correct. It is not correct. Okay, we will not put a full stop there. Will not put a question mark there. It will be a full stop. Now look, it will take a period of full stop, not a question mark, because we are not asking a question. This is a statement. Okay, and what is written in note? While you are expressing a thought that seems to require an answer, you are doing so with a statement. In this situation, you need a full stop, not a question mark. So remember it. And this is the most common mistake made when using a question mark. Now we will go to exclamation mark, and we only use it when we expressing our emotion. That means when we issuing a command or speaking forcefully. And as in the case of the question mark, do not follow this with a period and do not combine it with other punctuation marks. So we will not combine it with other punctuation marks, just like the question mark. And we will not also put a period when you are using it. Only one exclamation mark is enough in one sentence. 2 or 3 exclamation marks in a row is completely unnecessary. So it will look excessive. We will use only one exclamation mark in one sentence. Now look, this is completely unbelievable. He dribbles 6 players and scores a goal at direct shoot. That is another exclamation mark. We don't need to give exclamation mark here. Oh, what a goal! Again exclamation mark. So it is it is an exaggeration. We will not do it. We will put one exclamation mark only. Okay. So we don't need. Putting excessive exclamation mark is unnecessary. Now we will go to the quote marks. Now look, this is quote marks 66 and 99. And quotation marks are used to quote another person's words exactly, whether they be spoken or written. Okay, so if you want to quote another person's words exactly, we will use quotation mark. Now look, there is the example. Alan is saying, what did John exactly say to you, Mimo? Now Mimo is quoting John. John said, we are going shopping because we have no meal. Okay, and note the capitalization of we will, you must use the capital letter. That means we will write here, capital letter. It will be capital letter W. And now, so this is the quotation mark. And what is wrong? Now look, if you write John said we are going shopping because they had no meal, it will be incorrect. It will be wrong. Note the omission of the comma in this case also, and you will also note the comma. Now look, John said, after said we put a comma and then we start our quotation mark, and W will be capital letter, and then we put a full stop and then we close our quotation mark. If you are quoting a person who is quoting another person, use a single quotation mark like this. So we will use a single quotation mark. Now look, APJ Abdul Kalam said. That means if you are quoting another person, I am not a handsome guy, but I can give my hand to someone who needs help. Beauty is in the heart, not in the face. So a very beautiful line, sentences or lines. So we use single quotation mark. So if you are quoting a person who is quoting another person, we will put single quotation mark, or we will use single quotation mark. Now we will go to page number 76. That means and number 6. That means colon, and we all know that this sign, this mark is called colon. And when we use colon, a colon should be used after a complete statement in order to introduce one or more directly related ideas, such as a series of directions, a list, or a quotation or other comment illustrating or explaining the statement. For example, now look, for comment or for quotation we can use this colon. Now look, here we also use colon, right? In this conversation, after John, after Pat. And now look, the daily newspaper contains 4 sections. This statement is complete. The daily newspaper contains 4 sections, but we want to give more ideas about which is related to these 4 sections. Then we will use this colon mark. Now look, and what are the 4 sections? News, sports, entertainment, and classified ads. And we also separate those ideas, or items, or the same items or the ideas by putting commas. And we also use the Oxford comma. Now number 7, semicolon, and this sign is called semicolon. The semicolon is used to separate items in a series if the elements of the series already include commas. Now if in a sentence, if there's an if you find the commas, you will use semicolon there. And now look, a group of students are going to perform today during the break time. The group includes Nila, Tanmoy, Swam, Lima. And now look, we give comma, and we also now we want to add some more information about Nila. Nila, who is a guitarist. Okay, So group includes Neela, we put comma here, then guitarist, and now look, there is the semicolon because we are giving extra information about Neela, who is a guitarist, and then we were talking about Tanmoy in the same sentence. That means we need to separate Tanmoy from Neela. That's why we putting here semicolon, because we have used comma before that. Okay, and now look, after Tanmoy we also use a comma, and then we separate the information of Tanmoy from sound by putting a semicolon. And now look, Tanmoy, table player, and sound, keyboard player, and Lima, dramatist. And look here very carefully, the use of semicolon. When you when there is a comma, existing comma, we will use semicolon to separate the items in a series. So now look, there is a series because there are 4 persons actually: Neela, who is a guitarist, Tanmoy, table player, some keyboard player, and Lima, dramatist. So they all are some promising students of this school. Students are asked to come to the school auditorium to enjoy their performance. Now we will go to apostrophe. This sign is called apostrophe, which looks like comma, but we use it for different purposes. And now look, and the apostrophe has 3 uses. What are the uses? To form possessives of nouns, and then to show the omission of letters, to indicate certain plurals of lowercase letters. Now look at forming possessives, and how to form the possessives. The boy's name is Litu. Now look, Litu, the name Litu belongs to the boys, so we put an apostrophe here. This is called apostrophe. The boy's name is Litu. His father is a teacher. His mother manages home. They are from Natur. Natur's Sandesh is very famous. The Sandesh which belongs to Natur. So we use apostrophe there. And once he brought some Sandesh from Natur on his birthday. His brother's name is also very common, Pinto. Now look, his brother's name, that means the name belongs to his brother. So this is called apostrophe s. That means we use apostrophe to show possessiveness. And if the noun after of is a building, an object, or a piece of furniture, then no apostrophe is needed. So if the if the object after noun is a building, or a piece of furniture, or an object which is not living, we will not put apostrophe. Now look, the car door, it will not be car's door, it will not be car's door, it will be car door. We don't need to put apostrophe there. And now to form the possessive of a plural noun that already ends in s, add an apostrophe. So if you want to form a plural noun and possessive of a plural noun, we will put which already ends with s, we will put a apostrophe at the end of the word. Now look, the girls swing net, that means the swing net belonging to the girls. The word girls is already plural and it ends with s. So if you want to make it show or to form the possessive, that means you will put a apostrophe. You don't need to put extra s at the end of the word because already s is there. The students' projects, that means the projects belonging to the students, was to make swimsuits for boys more comfortable. The boys, now look, there these students, girls, girls students, and now look the boys. The words are plural there. New swim sets were really comfortable. The boys' hard work again was successful. After presentation, they all went to the Johnson's house. That means the house belonging to the Johnson for lunch. So this is the formation of possessive using apostrophe. And if the plural noun does not end in s, add an apostrophe plus s. So if the plural noun doesn't end with s, how will you form the possessive? Now look, the women's conference. The word women is plural, but it does not end with s. So we add s after apostrophe. Now look, we add s after apostrophe. That means the conference belonging to the women. The children's toys. The toys belonging to the children. The men's training camp. That means the training camp which belong to the men. And we also use apostrophe showing omission. Now look, I'm Ritu. I'm a student of class 6. Tomorrow I'll go to Rangamati with my parents. From there we will go to Bandarbanj. We have a plan to visit Khagrachari too. So if you want to omit any letter, now we will use apostrophe. Now look, I am means I am. So we omit a. I. Now look, we omit W and I. So just like this, we omit here W and I, and we omit here HA. So if you want to omit letters, we will use apostrophe. Now forming plurals. Apostrophes are used to form plurals of letters that appear in lowercase. So we can also use apostrophe to form the plurals of the lowercase letter. Now example, mind your P's and Q's. That means here P and Q's are plural. So these are the use of apostrophe, and these guidelines are given in your book. So before doing the activity 1, 2 and 3 from unit 8, you will go through these guidelines or the rules of the punctuation, and you all know that we start a sentence with a capital letter and proper noun will be capital letter. So remember it and do your assignment carefully. And if you have any question or if you have any inquiry, you can contact me over phone or through messenger. So dear students, that's all for today. I hope you have understood about today's topic. Dear students, all of you will practice a lot and do your assignment and submit it on time. So that's all for today, and see you again in your next class. Allah Hafiz.